Well, hello, Caleb. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Congratulations on your new series, Teacup. I've got the chance to actually watch it over this summer because a bunch of your castmates were at Comic-Con. And how are you feeling? How does it feel to be a part of something like this?
Feels so amazing. I can't believe that my first job actually coming out of the strike was Teacup and as a series regular role. It's my first really big job, and all of these amazing actors on the show shared so much of their knowledge with me. Chasky, Rob, Yvonne, Emily, Scott, Boris, everybody on the set was so knowledgeable about acting, and they taught me so much. Like Yvonne, whenever there was an intense scene, she would jump around. And when I slashed at her with the scissors in that scene, she was jumping around to get the energy and the breathing going. And Emily, she taught me a lot about character development, and she told me it's really good to have a character journal, like a journal as your character. And I'm gonna do that next season. And she also told me don't be afraid to ask for another take. And so in my most emotional scene, I asked for another take, and everybody was so happy, and especially Emily.
I was going to ask you about all the advice that you had even gotten because you do have such a well-rounded cast that you are working with. I love that though you feel comfortable asking for another take, and that
Mhm.
really did come from your castmates saying that to you. So as the series season has gone on as a filming, did you feel right out the gate you could start asking the questions for another take, or was it not until you got a little bit further down in filming?
I know I know I could now, but when I first started filming, I was very nervous because it was my first time ever being on a huge set with as a huge role. So I was quite nervous, and I was nervous, but all of the other cast members really helped make everything so small and really were very kind to me and really made everything so e- they they made it they made it a lot less stressful.
And then so why don't you take me back to the audition process? How did this even come across your how did you get this in your hands?
Well, my agent sent me the audition just after Christmas, and I really liked the audition sites I got. And so I really liked the audition sites. They were really cool. And so I submitted my audition, and about 2.5 weeks later, I got a callback. And with the callback, I got the sides for episode one. And I read episode one, and I was hooked. It was like reading a really good book that you didn't want to put down. Ian's writing was just phenomenal. And so I submitted my callback, and about 3 weeks later, I would say, I got a producer session. And did my producer session with Ian, Evan, Meredith Tucker, who was our casting director, and a bunch of the other executive producers and the producers. And so I did that, and about 3.5 weeks later, I was like, Mom, did I book Teacup? Did I book Teacup? And I was really excited and anxious, and I just wanted to be Arlo. And I got the call. I was cleaning my room at the time, and my mom called me to the phone, and my agent and my manager were both there, and they told me I booked it. And I was so excited. I jumped around on the couch. The couch will never be the same again. And after I heard I booked it, it would be the most random times. We'd be in the middle of dinner, and I'd say, I can't believe I'm Arlo. Or we'd be in the middle like of reversing out of a parking spot, and I'd be like, I can't believe I'm Arlo.
Did you feel any sort of pressure at all though? Because it just sounds like you were just so in awe of getting the role, but did you feel at all pressure?
No, because I think it was just shock when I first got it, and I was just so happy and excited. I I don't think there was a lot of pressure.
Mhm. And then had you speaking of, you said you read it and it was like a really good book. Had you read the book previously or have you read the book yet that it's based on?
I have not read the book because it seems very adult for me, and I'm only 10, so I think it's a little too much.
Just checking. We didn't know if there was any sort of like research you had to do to play young Arlo. So they not too sure. They're like, hey, give the book a read. So
No.
what did you bring though to young Arlo? Like what was it that you wanted to make sure came across screen?
What was it I wanted to make sure came across screen?
Mhm.
Arlo, uh, Arlo has to rely on his family and the people around him. And Harbinger, the entity inside of him, is good. And everybody around Arlo, that Arlo is leaning on, has to rely on Harbinger because Harbinger knows the most about what's going on. So everybody relies on Arlo relies on everybody, and everybody relies on Arlo or Harbinger. And as the season goes on, Arlo begins to trust Harbinger a lot more, and Harbinger begins to trust Arlo a lot more.
And I love that you said that there has to be, it's all about family with Arlo, with young Arlo. It's all about family. It's all about trust and stuff. And you've already touched upon this when you're speaking about your castmates, but how did you manage to build that trust with your castmates as well? Because, that comes off really well on screen.
Well, first off, thank you. And I think it was just really natural and it just was totally natural and we didn't really do anything. Like with me and Emily and Luciano, we all just when I met Luciano something clicked and when I met Emily something clicked. And we had a lot of fun together, me, Emily, and Luciano. Like we would go over to Luciano's place and do chess, do pool, do shuffleboard, and do ping pong, and we just have a fun time. We'd also do escape rooms and mini golf, and sometimes we just go out for dinner and just have fun. And for Emily's birthday, we had a birthday party for her. And so it just all went together and we just all bonded naturally. And me, Emily, and Luciano have a little group chat called the 21 and Younger Club.
Oh my God, that's so cute. I love it. Who came up with the name?
Me.
I love that. That is awesome. So just out of curiosity, if anybody else under 21 happens to come in potentially the second season, are you going to add them immediately to the group?
Me. Oh, yeah.
Well, I love that. I love that you've kind of established this little family that you have with the under 21 club.
Yeah, and I really think that everybody, like the channelists, really are my family, especially me and Emily. We always joke around that we really are siblings.
I mean, it comes across right across screen. You guys, honestly, from your first scene, the two of you together, it really does truly seem like you guys are siblings. And you sound, you just said it here, it really does come off that, it's that bonding that you created that has managed to establish that on screen so well.
Yeah, it just the bonding was all natural. Nothing it wasn't forced and it wasn't fake. It was just all natural.
And then, so in between takes, especially because you do have quite a few very intense scenes throughout this season. So, how do you prepare for those intense scenes, especially because this is your first big role?
How did I prepare for those intense scenes? Really, I just really immersed myself into Arlo. And a lot of times when there wasn't intense scenes and we would just, and sometimes we had really fun times. Like I would tell fun facts and jokes to Yvonne and the cameraman and everybody that was filming with me. And one time I said a really interesting fact, I guess. It was about sloths. And Yvonne said, if we all went to the Caleb school, we would be geniuses.
Okay, well, now you have to tell me what the interesting fact is about sloths.
I don't remember what the interesting fact was. I just remember it was about sloths because the cameraman showed us a video of a sloth that he went that in it like when he went to a different country to film. He showed us a video of a sloth on a tree.
Oh my God, that's amazing. So, are you a big reader?
Yes,
Are
I
you
love reading.
are you reading anything really good right now?
Not currently, because I finished all my books, and I really want to get the third book in the Harry Potter series. And
Yeah, you are
I
in.
love reading, but I love reading a little too much. So when you don't go to the library on a regular schedule, I run out of books because I read too much.
Well, you're in for quite a treat with the third Harry Potter book. But is that what you find yourself doing when you're not on set? Is you're reading?
I also really love to ride horses, and I ride two really special ponies called Louie and Joe Bob. Joe Bob is very cute, and he's a little fat, okay, a lot bit fat, and he's very messy too. He's a very cute, but he's extremely cute, and he's a little chipmunk. He'll eat food, and he'll store it in his cheeks for later. And but he really likes peanut butter and jellies. And when you give him the peanut butter and jelly, he'll eat it, and the peanut butter will get stuck to the roof of his mouth. So he has to stick his tongue out up there to get it. And then Louis is a little fancier and he only eat pepper treats and hay treats. But he's also really cute. And if you he has a little triangle spot on his nose, and if you poke that, and you like boop it like that, he'll stick his tongue out. He'll stick his tongue out. And he's very fancy and he's very cute, and I really like cameraing on him. And he's so picky, we call him Louis the Bowie or Louis Vuitton.
Oh my God, Louis Vuitton. That's a fabulous name for a picky horse.
Mhm.
So how long have you been riding for? Did it come up with a role, or is it something that you've done before that?
When I was little, when I lived in Florida, I rode a lot. I rode horses a lot. And then when he moved out here, I stopped. And about 2 years ago, I'd say, I started riding again, and I really loved it. So I really loved riding when I was little in Florida. And so, yeah, I hadn't been riding for a long time. And I asked my mom, hey, Mom, can you start horseback riding again? So I started horseback riding again.
Are you hoping that one day you'll get to really utilize your horseback riding skills in a role?
Yeah, I kind of already did
Yeah, a little bit, a
in
little
TEACUP.
bit. I was gonna say, I was like, more so you did a little bit, but like, would it be really cool for you to be like a cowboy? So you really get to do a lot of horseback riding.
Yeah, it would be very cool to be riding a horse on set.
And so back to the series of Teacup for people who haven't seen it yet, who have not watched the first season or any of the episodes of the first season, what would you say to them to get them to watch the series?
Because a little bit like an onion. The first two layers are horror but then the other layers are like the family dynamics and the relationships. And at the very core, it's about the people and their survival. And we hope that everybody will find a character that they are rooting for to survive.
And obviously no spoilers, but besides young Arlo, who are you rooting to survive?
I was rooting for you all of the channelists to survive. Like Meryl, James, and Maggie, and me too.
And then if you guys get as a season 2, what are your hopes?
My hopes for season 2 is that after season 2, we get so much more. And we also hope that everybody likes season 1 and we're really proud of season 1. And if we get to do it again and again and again, great. But if we don't, we had a really fun time doing it.
Awesome. So my final question, because Halloween is right around the corner and you obviously are in a horror series. Have you decided what you're going to be for Halloween, if you're dressing up at all?
Yes, I know what I'm going to be for Halloween. I am being Arlo. And me and Emily are going trick-or-treating together as Meryl and Arlo.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
Hmm?
When did you guys decide to do that's fabulous. When did you guys decide to do that?
I think, like, yeah, like Block 4. Block 4, we decided, let's trick-or-treat together as Meryl and Arlo.
Oh my God. Well, that's fabulous. I'm so excited. I hope we're able to see you guys as the characters on Halloween, because obviously you play them. So we should be able to see them also on Halloween. But thank you, Caleb, so much for talking with me today. I'm like I said, the
Having me.
speak up is so enjoyable and you are so good on it.
Thank you. And thank you for having me too.